And as you can see, double lodge is quite high. So I'm gonna need some other stuff as well for it. Essentially, I want to get these double platforms so I can build up towards it in a most convenient, practical way. So we're gonna wait a while for more science points. Considering how many people I have available, might as well build another science. What's it called? Inventor. What does this need that it's missing? Oh, it's missing a one plank. Gonna be built at some point. I could make more of these, but that would just increase my production of logs at this point, and I don't have that many to go around. Well, I have 99 somehow. Yeah, I was away for about 10 or so minutes, so yeah, they accumulated. Getting another forester wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm gonna put a forester there. And let's go full hog. I'm gonna plant a bunch of maple. Gonna take a while for it to grow, but it's good wood. And we are well-being of 10 now. More gear required for that. And there we go, we got a grist mill. You make wheat flour. Oh, that requires power. We're gonna go for a windmill. This is too far away from the river. And windmills are just as good. Although I'll probably need to build them up here. Oh, I think I'm gonna need 2 windmills to power this though. Also, windmills are not affected by drought, so if I need to, I can use them instead. Oh, I don't have enough science points for this. How many I need? 80. Oh, that's not gonna last too long. I'm gonna get those 80 points by the time we're gonna get this constructed as well. Yeah, in the modern world, the modern windmills are not exactly quiet. Also, this will require quite a bunch of resources that I currently don't have. Well, I have the base resource. I don't have. You know what? Let's make one more. Planks are a necessity, and I'm gonna need more anyway. So let's just build that. And again, I've made so many construction projects, I should just let them be. I'm gonna put that on a high priority though, just so that they can sort it out. And the drought has started, it's gonna last for 4 days. There are windmill farms here in Ireland as well, but they're mostly away from everybody's houses. Not sure if anybody lives close to one. Okay, water storages are full, we have plenty of food, so this drought is not an issue. Bigger issue is that we currently can't build anything that requires cogs or planks because the production of that will be halted for the next 4 days. But despite the drought, people here can still be enjoying their swimming. Well, that's the thing. Everybody is like, yes, we should move to renewable energies, but whenever somebody actually has to make any movements about it, everybody's yeah, but I don't want it near me. Yeah, that's not exactly how it works. Especially with a lot of renewable energies, you need to build them in a large quantity, and there are problems with renewables as well. People wouldn't think it, but windmills, those windmill fans, they require maintenance, and when they are past their usable date, they are a form of pollution because you can't recycle them. They're so dense that there is nothing that you can really do with them except dump them somewhere. There is actually a major problem of windmill blades not being recyclable and not being reusable, so they're just being dumped. The major problem with windmills and with solar power is that because of reliability of weather, you have to create whole fields full of them in order to for them to be efficient. The only renewables which do make, well, at least economic sense are mostly hydropower and geothermal power. Because they're constant, for the most part anyway. So it'll be a while before we see fusion plants. There have been a few fusion reactors created as experimental objects. And the concept is sound and it works, but we are not at the level of technology where we can make that technology practical yet. But it is the power source that we will have to move into at some point. We could just go into proper nuclear, but people are too afraid of nuclear for some reason. I say some reason, I'm pretty sure I know what the reason is. Well, there are a few actually. The major concerns with nuclear power are what to do with the nuclear waste after you're done with it, and the second is, well, what happens if it melts down like it did in Fukushima or in Chernobyl, where Chernobyl was a human error and Fukushima was caused by a tsunami, so not exactly under anybody's control, and overall nuclear reactors are perfectly safe. And there goes the drought. And the problem with the nuclear waste that you get from a nuclear power plant, that can be re-enriched. You can actually reuse a fuel cell, a fuel rod from a nuclear power plant. The technology does exist. It takes some work, but considering how much money we spend on obsolete fuel sources that are just causing harm to the environment, we could just invest into, you know, re-enriching the rods in order to, you know, continue using nuclear power. Yeah, fusion plants are essentially the end goal because they don't melt down. If they blow up, they just regularly blow up, and the potential energy you can get from them is, at least on paper, much higher. Scientifically it is sound. The problem is you need a lot of money to develop it, and you know how it is. as well. You're from Germany, aren't you? Germany moved away from nuclear power, went back to coal. So yeah, we have nothing to talk about while everybody is going backwards in time. Okay, so I'm gonna make this. There we go. One point 88 gigawatts. What are you referring to? Oh, yeah, 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, that's from the Back in the Future, Back to the Future. Okay, so we are actually having enough resources for the most part. Oh, I need this. There we go. Now I just need to connect them, and we got wind power. Now I will again excuse myself for one short minute, and you can observe my beavers doing their thing again. And I'm back again. Sorry about that. I had to assist my missus with a few things. She's going to London and it's a very, very trying time for her. Okay, so we need a recipe for this, and we are gonna be making bread because we get 5 bread for 1 unit of wheat. But of course that's gonna be only after this is constructed, and that still requires 2 planks and 2 logs. These trees are going well. It's going nicely. 30 people. I wanna have 40 before I make a second district. I'm gonna make it here. That means that they need their own source of water. I could also make it here. Up, here, down. That would also work. It would work quite well. There's also berries here already, but the thing is, this place does not offer me anything I need. I need metal. And the metal's over there. Essentially what you can do is you can equip your beaver. So I'm gonna make a path there. Say from here. Okay. So we can't go any further than that. That's the end. So from here we need to make a district gate and then make a second district here. But before that I will need to make sure I can supply the guys with stuff they need. There we go, distribution post and drop-off point. This way I can send food to another district. So I can leave this as a point where I'm using food and then just send it where it needs to go. Of course, these things cost. I'm gonna go easy on the construction for a bit. But I let them do their thing. These are gonna last a long time before they're made. As you can see, 30 days until we get the logs, but only 12 days until we get maple syrup. But we will need Tapper's Shack to actually collect it. It needs 500 science. I think I should start considering unlocking the observatory. Now the observatory takes 1000 science to unlock, but as opposed to 3 science, I think it's 3 science. Yeah, 3 science per 3 hours, you get 10 science in less than an hour. So you can get around like 200 science, but it also needs power. Oh, is this? Oh, they just can't get the materials. Well, I'm gonna put this on a high priority. Make that. Thank you. Can we offer them anything new in the form of leisure? Temple? Carousel and a mud bath. I'm gonna get off the science for a bit and let them complete the jobs they were meant to complete. We actually have more food than we need for the amount of people we have. And we got more places. We have 3 beds spare, so I'm gonna build more houses. Lovely. And of course connect them. It's going to be about enough people to start working on that second district. There we go, we got flour. Now, of course, these are not very steady producers, but currently we are meeting our demand. But this is gonna be steadily going up and down, so it's not like the water wheel. We can also use beaver power. I mean, there is a treadmill. If we're ever short on power, we can just put a treadmill down and we can have one of the beavers just run until they're completely exhausted. But that doesn't seem like a nice thing to do. So we won't. A couple of monuments here we can of course do as well, but they take a lot of science to do. I do want the science to be moving along a bit nicer. I do have one idle worker. Only one? Some people died, weren't they? No, not really. I guess these now took a few extra workers. Only one person is idle. We have 4 children. Oh, we are not on 10 anymore, we're on 9. That's because, well, some people could use more rooftop terraces and campfires. I might as well build a few more. Oh. Oh, that's not a rooftop terrace. This is, but do I want to put it on a rooftop though? Doing so would require me to make some kind of a passage up there, and I kind of don't want to do that, but I can do it here. There we go. Gonna make the warehouse look very pretty. Of course, that again means that I'm starving for resources because wood is scarce. And that being said, the wood isn't really scarce. I could make another lumberjack. There we go. And thus employed as one more person. Now we have no more idols. What's unconnected? Oh, that's the house. That's fine. That's gonna be connected when it's actually... Oh, go figure, you're out of potatoes to bake. That's okay. Wish you could do something with carrots, but you cannot. Carrots can just be eaten raw. And we suddenly jumped to 11. I'm guessing because of the bread? Or because we made something? But no. Not important. So all this is gonna take a bit of time to build up now. I wish there was like a speed up command like there is in Settlers, in old Settlers. So in all old Settler games, which were essentially games like this, where you had colonies to manage, but it also had a conflict component to it. If you pressed, I believe it was F12, so function 12 key, it would speed up the game, as in it would jump ahead. I'm not sure if it was a minute or 3 minutes. So the game would just calculate everything that was going to happen the next 3 minutes, and it would just take a few seconds for you. So you could speed up things that were happening. The only problem was that that also meant that it sped it up for the enemy as well. So it would speed up all of the things that they were doing. And if you were overusing that and not paying attention, then suddenly you would press the button and you would see that there is a bunch of enemies in your territory, knocking your towers down. So it was definitely an interesting concept, but also a double-edged sword in that regard. But considering how much time it took for certain operations to take place in Settlers, yeah, I'm happy that that function existed. And I think it existed all the way until Settlers 4, I believe. No, it was there in Settlers 4 as well, until Settlers 5. Settlers 5 was, I think, the first of the Settlers games that actually had a campaign with a main protagonist and a hero. I mean, old Settlers game also had protagonists, but they were tied to specific campaigns and they didn't have so much individual storyline. Actually, I lie, they did. It's just that I just didn't conceive it that way because of how those older games were made. You just had a briefing where the character was telling what they wanted to do and did and so on. And in Settlers 5 there was actually like a story with a prince protagonist who was trying to reclaim his kingdom, I believe, or something of that sort. There we go. That's... I think we have enough spaces for around 40 people, I think. I'm just gonna let those pile up and then we're gonna go sort them out. Everything is built now, I believe. Yes, it does seem to have been built. Okay. That means that I can now do... Where is it? Labor? Yes, labor. Go. UC Tutti died of old age. Yeah, there is no wind, so the windmill stopped. Oh, this is such a peaceful game. Relaxing. Of course, it can be not so relaxing if you're doing badly, but... Oh, the drought only starts in 1.5 days. And I have plenty of resources, so I'm not concerned. And it's gonna last probably for 5 or 6 days now. I could get rid of all these berry bushes, they're not really useful. Oh yeah, I should set up some of the water foods now. How much do I have? Aquatic farmhouse. Ooh, I actually have enough for a beehive. Could make that instead. Oh, that requires paper. I'm not making paper yet though. Let's just make the aquatic farmhouse. Farmhouse! Oh yeah, I will need to make a path. Beavers being beavers, they have no problems going into the water. And you can make pathways underwater as well. Go. That brings a question to mind. Do I have to build that underwater though? Because I just put that underwater. I think that was not what I supposed to do. Yeah, I'm not supposed to actually put the building underwater. I'm just supposed to give it a path to reach underwater. I'm dumb. There we go. When that's built, I can actually plant some water food. No, water food isn't fish fingers. In this game, it is... what's it called? Let's see, cattail and spadadoc. Yeah, I said 5 days, but it's actually 6. So we have 6 days of drought now. So I'm gonna monitor the situation so we see how it looks like. It should be fine because while they're pumping water out, they still have to drink all of this water, and we have like 900 food. We're good. Also, I have 160 wheat in storage, so plenty of bread. I actually have wheat that's gonna rot in the fields because I don't have anywhere to store it. I could make another storage, that being said. Kind of low on trees at the moment, and should probably wait for these things to grow. Take a while. These will provide a lot of wood when they're done, but they're only 55%, so there's like 15 days left before those grow. And we're kind of short on trees at the moment. Oh, I say that and there is a tree just grown.